Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the indoor social distance social club. Shut up, Poppy. Broadcast. Sorry about that. Any of you who own parrots or have owned parrots will know this will be totally familiar. Totally familiar, won't it? Because if I'm giving attention to the broadcast, I'll give attention to you. So today's broadcast will be interrupted by screaming. No, it won't. Because if you want to pass, you shut up. This is a little magic trick. Dun, dun, dun. Up. Come on, step up first. Yes. Yes. That might keep him quiet for a minute. Good morning, everybody. Yes, indoors. It's raining. I say the light seems terribly bright on this camera. So I've come on to the social distance social club today to have a good old moan. What a day I had yesterday. What a day. Started off getting ready for the social distance rider confidence course with morning Priscilla, morning Marie, morning Julie, morning Maggie, morning Sarah, morning Moira. I started off getting ready for the social distance rider confidence course where I've got my outside classroom. I did a little broadcast to show you what we're doing. People aren't going into the little classroom anymore. We've got a bigger marquee. It still is a bit weird to be in the bigger marquee. I haven't quite settled into it yet, but each time we do it, I'm settling in a little bit more, knowing how things go in the new environment. You get so used to what you're used to, so it's all good. So it's good. We're thinking about social distancing. We're thinking about F10 spray for the saddles, which is an antiviral spray. Thinking about a lot of things. I mean, the rider confidence course is quite a course that you have to concentrate on anyway, because you know we're dealing with people's conversations, and we need to be completely on the ball as to what we're saying and how we're getting it across. And if we haven't got the rider confidence course across in this metaphor or this analogy, then we try this. And so you concentrate on all that. It's nice, but it's not hard work, but it's concentrating work. So your mind's on the ball. Then we're just putting the stallion out, and Freddie comes back and says, that stallion isn't right. Now, some of you might remember that I had a vet call the other day, and so anyway, stallion's not right. He's just sort of bumping into things. So we went and saw him, and he was sort of weaving a bit when he was walking across the yard, and then I stopped and he bumped into me. Oh, this horse is blind. And we put him back in the stables, and he was so careful and tripping up the steps. Like, this horse is blind. Now he's already under medical supervision because there was a bit of a problem last week that I did mention. So the vet was already interested and already on speed dial. I mean, like, Lumi's gone blind, and then of course I had to get on with the day. So vet's on its way. That's sorted. Horse is safe. It was actually quite normal in itself. It was actually quite perky. So obviously it had considered that the sun hadn't come up yet, and it was just a very long night. But anyway, so the horse was settled, greeted all the customers, and then we're doing the rider confidence course, concentrating on the new environment. And then the vet comes and they're like, yeah, the horse is blind. It's got to go into it's got hemorrhaging behind its eyeballs. The eyeballs are full of blood. It can't see. It needs to go into RVC being about 40 minutes away. Right, okay, so is that an emergency? And they said, no, it's not an emergency, but it does have to go in today. So you don't have to drop the course, but you will have to go at lunchtime. So we're doing the course, and I'm going, right, okay, I have to go in at lunchtime. Crumbs, as the lorry going to start, that tyre was a bit low. I need to pump up that tyre. I need to charge up the batteries, make sure it starts, because of course we've not been doing any shows. It's just been sitting there decaying. We haven't done any shows. So anyway, there we go. So I'm thinking about that. It's like, right, okay, we'll finish this. I'll put the battery on charge. We'll finish this section. I'll get the tire pumper upper compressor out, and then I'll be ready to go at lunchtime. And then it rained. I'm sure you all got rained on. I'm sure everybody got flooded. I don't mean to imply that it only rained on me. The important bit to me is that it rained on me. And it rained. It hammered. And we're in the middle of the course, in the balancing part of the course. And anyway, we carried on, and bless them, the clients were super positive and in this showering rain. And we finished that section, went into the marquees and waited for the rain to stop, and it flooded. The drains couldn't cope on the yard. It flooded the yard. Then the flooding reached the stables. Then it flooded the stables. And the staff running out going, the stables are flooded. I've been here a while. The stables have flooded before. It's no biggie, but it is dramatic. So anyway, then we did the rearing section. Then we went to lunch, and I was like, right, okay, let's get this blind horse out and load it up. You know, of course, we had to take the blind horse through the flooded stable. So now the blind horse can't, well, it couldn't see the steps anyway, but it couldn't see the steps because they're underwater. And as it happens, is a very well-trained horse. He's been put at so many things. This is the same horse that did the fireworks on the rider's back at Liverpool. He's been desensitized. He's quite, in himself, quite happy, just can't see. So he trusts us, and he comes along, and he does come through the water. He tripped up a little bit getting on the ramp, little bit. He tripped up, and poor little chap fell on his chin, but it was okay. But of course, I'm not getting distressed, but I am finding it distressing to see him stumbling about. So we're lifting his feet above all the steps, but he still tripped up. But anyway, we carried on, lifted his feet and showed him where the ramps was, and he got up and he got in. And then we went to RVC through the flooded stables, and I'm only on lunchtime. I'm trying to get back to complete the last section of the course. So I get to RVC, and then we've got to load him out of the lorry. Now, if he was tripping up going into the lorry, he could probably fall flat on his face and roly-poly coming out of the lorry, because it's quite a steep ramp. I'm driving along thinking, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? When we got there, fortunately, there was a bit of a slope going up to their arena. So if the slope, oh, where's my hands? If the slope's like that, I could lower the tail down onto the slope and have it flat rather than down there. So there we are. Anyway, we did that, and he did get out. He fell a little bit down the step, but it was only a drop like that because we've got this thing. So anyway, unloaded him. Social distancing all over the place at RVC, so everything's taking 10 times as long, and I'm going, oh, I need to get back, I need to get back, I need to get back. And anyway, jumped in the lorry, drove back, just caught the clients in time for the last little section, which was marvellous. Then the vets called at 6:30, spoke to them till 7:30. Absolutely, what a day. The yard's still flooded. Lumi's still in the RVC. And yeah, and here we are. Today, now, actually, as soon as Zana's got back with the car from getting the poison dart frog food and the tegu food and all the other foods she's got to get, I'm going to jump in the car with Popple Guy. We're going to go to Swindon again, aren't we? Yes, for hopefully a final checkup. He had aspergillus, which is a fungal growth in one of his bronchioles 2 months ago, and it should all be gone by now, but the specialist is in Swindon, so I'm going to go and do that now. So it's a good job it's raining, because there's nothing else to do in the rain for me, so I might as well get in the car, which is marvellous. The floods are still going to be there when I get back, so I needn't panic. And that's my day. So I'm quite glad to share this with you. because sometimes I'm aware that I must come across as someone who never has bad days and is always happy. And this came up in the Rider Confidence course yesterday, that it's not the things that happen to you, it's the way you choose to react to them. It's not that your horse rears or your horse naps or your horse does this, that, or the other spins. It's how you choose to react to it. So if your horse engages in a behavior and you take that to personally mean that you're out of control, you can't ride, you haven't got the knowledge, you haven't got the power, you haven't got the ability, it just means that you're rubbish. That's the meaning that you've chosen to read into it. Now, the reality might be that you're out horsed. Do you know that's not a crime? That's not a crime to be out horsed. I've been out horsed before. Everybody has. The reality might be that you need to get a grip on your timetable so that you can do 5 lessons a week of half an hour as opposed to 1 lesson a week of an hour. That might be. That's not a crime either. That's a sensible reaction. But the reaction that fate hates you and somehow it's your failing is entirely your choice. So I had a bit of a day. I haven't chosen to let me go, well, I'm just so overworked. I'm too busy. I can't do anything properly. I can't look after the clients. I can't look after the horse. The horse was in a bad state. I should have taken it in straight away. Fact is, didn't need to take it in straight away because the vet had checked it and they'd said, if the vet had said that needs to come in now, we'd have gone in there. Now, everybody has bad days. Everybody has bad days. But if you want to avoid a life of anger, anxiety, and depression, then take the time to choose how to add meaning to the things that affect you. And the meaning that I've had for my terrible day is to come on, do my social distance social club, transcribe my events of yesterday into a useful message that's going to help people and hopefully help you and your horses have a nicer time. So there we are. Thank you for your nice comments and it's very nice. Thank you for your concern for Lumi and your concern for Popple Guy. It's been lovely. Tomorrow, join us because we are going to have a super special interview from the side saddle community. I am super excited. So we're going to have an interview all about side saddle. You may have noticed on the Stampede Stunt Company page, Zana was visited by the Bear House Saddlery who brought a side saddle. They also supplied the side saddle costume. In talking to them, there is so much detail and interest. It was fascinating how the side saddles work, how the horses work, how the riders work. Plus, I love all the little nitty bitties of you've got to have this and you haven't got to have that. Different disciplines. One of the things that really enthuses me about all the different disciplines is that one discipline can say one thing about their horses. Very, very easy example, Western riders have washing line reins, and that is the complete wrong for another discipline. So I love it. It's like, in this discipline, we do this. In our discipline, Jigitofka, we get off the saddles completely and stand on the stirrups. In other disciplines, you have a very deep seat and it all comes from your bum. There we are. I love it. So I'm so looking forward to that interview tomorrow. Make sure that you're there. That's going to be at 11 o'clock. Bear House Saddlery. We're going to be talking about the day that they came here, the costume, the side saddles, the discipline of the horses. It's going to be absolutely super. And what's really super is I know nothing about it other than the brief half-hour conversation that I had 3 days ago. So get your questions. Make sure you've got them in your back pocket, ready to come on and say that. I've got to go off now and take Popeye to Swindon. And if you can't join us on Friday, you'll be able to watch it on replay. And make sure that you can also join us on Saturday at 11 o'clock, because we will be having another interview with horse trainer Jason Webb from Australian Horsemanship. So if you've got any questions for Jason, if you've got any questions for Bear House Saddlery, make sure that you join those. I'm super excited. I'm loving these interviews. If you've got a discipline that you're in and you think I'd really like you to do an interview with this polo instructor or this, let's do it, because these interviews have been fantastic so far. We've had the horseback falconer, we've had a dressage trainer from South Africa, we've had Bianca, who's is a horseback archer and also a confidence coach in life and everything else from Australia. I've got Spanish equitation lined up for a week or so. All exciting. Okay, lovely. I'm afraid I haven't got time for questions because I've got to jump into the car. So tomorrow, side saddle. Next day, Australian horsemanship. That's Saturday. Looking forward to it. See you later. Bye bye.